bit of a difference as far as what Arius believed in totality or whatnot. But yeah, so shit. Like I was saying, following that letter, following those, during that synod or whatever, 335, Athanasius was deposed, and in 336, the synod of Jerusalem, Arius was granted to recommune into the church. Now, the exact date of his death, I could not find it, and I tried my best. Everything kept coming up as 336, but as far as like the day of the week, it was supposed to have been on a Saturday, right? He had finally made it to Constantinople. He had entered into the palace or whatever, engaged in his normal relations with people. Obviously ate and drank. By the time he left the palace, he was walking and people were celebrating or whatever. He started to feel nauseated and sick. And the people that was around watched him. So he was like, so it was a guy, I forget the name of the guy. It could have been, I forget who, but basically he became sick. He became dizzy. So he tried to find a spot to kind of like gather himself or whatnot. And he ended up throwing up. And when he started throwing up, it's basically like this. If you guys know about Ebola, it seemed like he had exhibited those same side effects. Like his skin started to turn different colors. He started bleeding out of every fucking hole in his body. He ended up bleeding out his intestines, some of his internal organs, and he died in excruciating pain right then and there. Now, as far as like the bishop of Constantinople at the time, he did not want to receive Arius, and he is on record as praying that something bad happened to him. I believe he got poisoned or whatever, but he ended up dying that way in excruciating pain. And the bishop of Constantinople kind of like celebrated, like people that didn't like him, they viewed it as being like God's wrath on Arius, basically. And so that's basically the way that he died. Again, as far as like 325, his writings and all of that, during that council or after the council, the emperor Constantine ordered that all his shit be burned, and anybody that was found with a remnant or a copy, the punishment was immediate death, the death penalty or whatever. So because of that, none of his writings actually existed past that period or survived past that period. So everything else, all information regarding what he believed, comes from people that kind of like reframed, I don't want to say reframed, but provided his arguments in their own writings, even though they didn't agree with him themselves, but they'll provide his writings and refute it or whatever. So I believe the majority of it is accurate. I do think there is